Y'all seen Gunna out here. I'm gonna be honest with you. Young Thug need like a young. Of course, I don't believe personally because of his impact, because of his talent, because of his creativity. I don't believe that Young Thug could ever Meek Mill himself. But this nigga's trying. Like, Young Thug is doing everything but what we need him to do. And what he doesn't realize is that it's going to taint and tint the music when we hear it. And it's going to make us feel a way based on just everything he keeps tweeting. We get it, brother. You don't like Gunna. We get it. Brother, just meet up with him and shoot the fade or something. Like, and obviously it's personal to Thug because he went to jail. And clearly, in his story, he blames Gunna for this somehow. So, like, I could see him saying, nah, fuck what y'all niggas is saying. It's bigger than music. Like, nah, I don't like this nigga. However, we got to be honest, man. Every time he tweets about it and we're not getting fire music and he's not talking about it in music, it kind of like looks like yet Gunna drops a pretty good album. Everybody's saying the album's amazing. Yeah, everybody. Have y'all heard Gunna's album? Pretty good. By the way, the label projections for Gunna album was 70, 75. This is how much word of mouth actually works. By the way, every time an artist drops an album, there's a label projection. You know what I mean? Like, come on, they're spending millions of dollars. They know kind of what they're to expect first week. Shoot past it. You know why Gunna shot past it? It's word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best promotion. You can't buy it. Everybody's saying, yo, you heard that Gunna shit? That shit hot. Everybody's going to check it out. Shit, by the time it's finalized, Gunna might do 95. Might even touch 100K, honestly. Why? Because the review by fans and people talking about it has been very positive. If he got anything to say, he'd throw a few little pot shots in the music, but he's keeping it moving. It's working for him. The other people involved who are doing overt, obvious disses, it doesn't look like it's working for them. It feels like they're trying to get fans to commit to what they feel is important, and everybody looking at them like, okay, tell us some more about how he's a snitch. Okay. So where's the music now? To the point that, and this was the craziest part of it all. By the way, I want to let y'all know, I believe Gunna told too. I do believe he told. You get what I'm saying? Not because he took a plea as per the agreement of the plea where he admitted that YSL's a gang. Pretty much everything they were charged with in a RICO, he admitted it. That's pretty much telling. Like, if you admit it, you're telling, brother. You know what I mean? And I know some people are like, well, that's what's the point of a plea. Well, Young Thug also took a plea, but he admitted nothing. So there's different ways to take a plea. So I do believe he told. Do I give a fuck if he told? No. 6ix9ine is my homie. I don't care, right? So initially, I was just like, y'all treat Gunna with the same energy that y'all would treat 6ix9ine. But I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't know if 6ix9ine has realized this, because I remember him calling me a couple times, like early on when this kicked off. And he was just like, yo, niggas ain't gonna say nothing to Gunna. Like, he's not getting blackballed from playlists or nothing. And I agree with 6ix9ine. It was a big double standard. Because again, if you told, you told. It is what it is. What I do believe what happened is that Gunna is carrying it in a way that is much more digestible to the majority of the rap industry that aren't gang members, aren't street niggas. He's not throwing it in their face like 6ix9ine did. Yeah, I ratted and what? I came home to a big bag. That shit was just like, yo, you're just telling us we ain't shit. The way Gunna is carrying it, I think Gunna's giving a bunch of excuses. I was confused. I didn't know what they was doing. It was the lawyer's job to make sure I ain't. Like, he said a couple things, whatever he said. I think people just realize at a point, it's an understandable way. He wasn't really down with all the get down. He wasn't like, he's really a Crip, they're Bloods. Like, we made all type of excuses for Gunna. And that's why he's been allowed, if you ask me, to kind of skate by. And he's not just harping on that fact. He went back to the lab, got himself right mentally, physically. He looks the best he's ever looked. I don't know if he's Ozempic, but I see him working all the time. And now we're seeing him make the best music ever. He's really locked in. You could tell he's like, maybe he used to be off some lean or some drugs. And because most of these artists, when they drop some bullshit projects, Them projects is curated by a altered state of mind. Like they're off of lean, Zans, perks. They're off of some Molly, some K2. Of course it sounds hot fuck, nigga. You can't even, like, the regular cadence and harmonies and beat patterns is going to sound good to you because you're fucking high. You could tell Gunna has refined his talent, his skill. He's always been a great beat picker. He's picked amazing beats. He's locked in. You know, a bunch of producers shunned him. The nigga locked back in. So I gotta say, that is what you would hope that any artist going through it, and whether it's a snitch allegation, whether they're calling you a certified PDF, that if you feel you need to do a comeback or whatever, you're gonna lock in musically and be more on point than you've ever been before. I'm being honest. If you've listened to Gunna, he's always rap good, but Gunna, he's looked way more like an artiste than ever before, and I got to give him credit for that. And this is why I be looking at Lil Baby and thugging him, and I'm like, the reason I'm saying y'all might Meek Mill yourself is because people want to root for y'all, but y'all keep giving people reasons to be like, yo, these niggas hating. Like, that's where I think the lack of, you know, the lack of understanding what's happening for them, like, they only can see from their perspective. So they're like, nah, we been tell you we don't fuck with snitches, so we gonna tell you fuck these snitches. And it's like, dog, we're now starting to look at y'all like haters. And one thing about people collectively is, like, we like to get on people, Jones on people, we like to whatever, but we never like to be seen as a flat out hater, like somebody who's just straight up negative. And I think that's where I think Young Thug and Lil Baby are standing to fit in this narrative, and they're tying their stories and their albums completely to Gunna. Y'all tell me right now, as soon as Young Thug drop, the first thing they ain't gonna say or see on social media is, yo, man, Gunna album better than this, or damn, he really outdid Gunna. It's gonna be one way or the other. You're now intuitively tied to the guy you claim you hate or you want to get away from. So I look at that and I look at their, you know, if I was them, I would act unbothered. I'm gonna be honest with you, I would do shit behind the scenes. This is what most artists do. Do shit behind the scenes. Yo, if y'all booking me on Rolling Loud and Gunna's there, I'm not doing Rolling Loud. Y'all booking me to do Birthday Bash and Gunna's coming, I'm not doing that. Use your power and your presence to kind of isolate that nigga away from all the shit you fuck with. Yo, y'all doing a record, y'all want him, oh, he gonna be on your album? I'm cool. I don't want to be on nothing with that nigga. I don't want to fake kick it with you niggas. Cool. I think that's the way to do it. That's how most artists do it. I'm being honest with y'all. The big artists, when they got beef with somebody, they stifle their career by just telling everybody else, I ain't fucking with him. And by the way, that they tried to do that to Gunna. There's a bunch of artists that was told, yo, listen, we ain't fucking with that. We ain't fucking with Buddy right now. You do a feature, do a beat, we not fucking with you. However, it's been like 2 years now. Gunna's still on road. He's still surviving. Some people are coming back around to be like, who he tell on again? Well, Young Thug free. Like, they're not making up excuses for themselves to work with Gunna because Gunna's now, he's a successful artist without all of it. Remember, they were like, yo, he can't do a show after that. Did two sold out Barclays show, went to the Forum. Oh, we can't come back to Atlanta. Went to Atlanta, did a sold out show. It's going to happen. So anyway, let me kind of get into what has been happening with this situation. There was a leaked song, supposedly, that was going to be on Lil Baby's project that got pushed back, it seems. And it was a song that Young Thug was on. Now, this is also another thing, and again, I'm speaking objectively here as a rap critic. I don't know these niggas like that. I don't have no type of horse in the race, either or. I don't care. I think that Young Thug has been making several mistakes. We all love the relationship he has with him and Mariah, which we'll get into that too. She said some crazy shit. Oh my God. Yo, sometimes you got to keep this chick off the mic, man. Yo, no, keep her in the booth. She can sing, but what the fuck? Anyway, it was an interview that she did. But one of the mistakes I think Thug is making is that he's making his comeback journey to almost be the fuck Gunna campaign. Big mistake. Gunna is not really, he is throwing shots, but it's low key. He's stepped away. I've got the news. Gunna's situations have already been worked by Warner. It's now under, well, it's still quote unquote technically on YSL, but they really don't got too much business ties that needs to be ironed out. It's already ironed out. So Young Thug being on the Fuck Gunna campaign is a little bit like, what's going on here, brother? Now, it ties his album to Gunna's album, or his success to Gunna's success. If you are this big legendary artist, we thought this was going to be the most hype moment of Young Thug's career. I mean, he damn near beat a Rico, even though he didn't. He pled out, but he didn't go to jail or go to prison for a long time. I know he was locked up for like 2-3 years, but still, we thought this was going to be his moment. He's clearly one of the legends. He's one of the most talented artists of all time, and we thought this was going to be a bigger than life moment of him coming out of jail. We don't expect him to be focused on the guy he signed, his subordinate, Gunna, the nigga he helped put on. No, you get what I'm saying? So that's the first mistake. The second mistake is this. I felt that, and this is me personally, that Lil Baby, before Young Thug got out, Lil Baby was a little bit getting in the freezer. He was cooling down. He went from hot lava, and it's been a gradual cool down over the last 2 years. Not saying he's irrelevant. He's whack. He has actually a great club catalog, which is going to keep him booked all the time. But dropping music that culturally moves anything and that we talk about, it became less and less and less and less, if you ask me, over 2 years. Okay? And I felt that Baby, out of loyalty to Thug, because he was going hard and basically saying fuck Gunna too, I felt Thug was like, you know what? I'm hot. I got to go link up with my mans and get him back as hot. And they've been kind of, remember him tweeting from jail, whatever Wham says goes. It feels like Thug was leveraging his heat, to help Baby's career. And it seems to still be the thing, because if this was supposed to be on Baby's album, why ain't on Thug's album? Like, it feels like Thug is trying to give his heat to Baby, and he has some crazy thing planned for his album later on. My thing is, Thug, the time is now. Drop your shit. Forget what Lil Baby got going on. Forget Gunna. Drop your shit, nigga. Anyway, the song that was supposed to come out, again, and I think this is a real song. His voice sounds a little bit altered, but we know Young Thug, he does many voices. Young Thug ain't even doing subliminals. He's just straight up naming niggas. Hear this. He said, Yak Gotti, he tricked me for some years. I ain't know that nigga was telling. And then he says, the only reason I fuck with you, Gunna, it was because of Troop. Now, Troop is like some other Atlanta nigga. And supposedly that's how the story of how he kind of meets Gunna. But Young Thug is flat out saying it. I don't rock with these bitch ass niggas. Fuck these rats. That's what he's saying. He believed they're cooperants, okay? Now, there's a tasteful way to do it in music, and there's a I don't give a fuck, let's crash out drill music type of way, where you just say their names and call them rats. Okay. Now that happened. And after that happened, we saw the lawyer, who I guess like these YSL lawyers and people were thinking, yo, we're all in it together. I know Gunna got out early on a plea, but everybody else, we pretty much took it to the box. We're locked in for life. Everybody from Yak to everybody else, including Thug, that was left on, it was like 6 or 7, that pretty much took it all the way to the end, right? So the lawyer for Yak Gotti, his name is Douglas Weinstein, he actually said, Yak didn't say a single thing against Jeff in his interviews with the cops. I don't know where this is coming from. Yak had the opportunity to turn on Jeff during the trial to get out of his case easily, never took it. He stood tall and took it all the way to the jury. Now, the reason why people are bringing this up, Chad, is not because he said something like during the trial or took an early plea like Gunna. It's because of a video that came out that people have been calling the hypocrisy out on Thug. They wanted to know if Thug was going to stand on business, right? So they were saying to Thug, yo, Thug, how are you mad at Gunna for snitching? and you claim, you hate rats. Remember he did the interview with $1 million worth of game where he like, yo, I got a rat detector, right? Remember that? Young Thug rats $1 million worth of game. He basically said he could detect. Listen to this. Is it this? No. Wait, does anybody know? It was a thing where he's like, yo, if any of these niggas snitching, I could tell. Let me see.
Absolutely. Because I'm the reason for the
right. Boo Boo, who real name is Lester, watching YouTube.
I'm not saying that I'm built a certain way.
I understand.
I'm not saying I'm built
that.
silent. I'm saying I'm built just normal. Like,
but niggas,
normally,
listen,
you shouldn't tell.
But I understand you. But that dude that created himself in the mirror,
he ain't normal.
In his room in the suburbs. But
I'm basically gonna tell you what I tell myself. Right. Just being real, like you can cap. Okay. I'm basically.
All you young niggas out there that's moving and operating.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
did I not be
okay? So anyway, there's a part I can't find it, and I want to like hold up the stream. There's a part where he literally just says, "Yo, check it out, man. I don't fuck with rats. I kind of could tell if a nigga is a rat. He not like that. This and third." So after the Gunna thing, people are like, "All right, we get it. You feel Gunna's a rat, cool." But then during the trial, there was a video that came out of Yak Gotti cooperating. Now, the street conversations about all of this has been saying Young Thug is a hypocrite and a conniving liar because he's claiming he doesn't fuck with rats, but it's been a known thing in Atlanta streets that the YSL niggas are getting locked up, and when they go down to the station, they're telling on their ops. They're saying Young Thug knew this, and because it benefited YSL, he never did nothing about it. He just don't like when other niggas he don't like snitch. So people were talking about that because they're saying, how did Gunna do that? How did Woody do what he did? And then it comes out with Yak Gotti interrogation video. And in this video, he even says, there's a part he says, yo, if y'all let me get out back to the streets, I could put a good case for y'all niggas together. I get a couple of these niggas locked up. Now, this is Yak Gotti, the rapper that signed to Young Thug, right? Listen to this.
I told him what I heard. But as far as this, I got to get back to the streets and see. I had to put something together so I can get y'all information. What you mean?
He said, let me get back to the streets. Let me get back in work mode. Let me get back to the streets, put this thing together for you, and I could come back with a couple of names. Okay?
If I was to hear, like, who did or who, you see what I'm saying? Like, I ain't been around Shannon, Woody, none of them names. Everything else, I told him what I heard. But
so again, I mean, I don't even know, I think he's had an explanation of this. He claims that, I don't know what the fuck he claims, but this shit was crazy.
I don't understand that too. It's one, and that's what I was before.
You can read God's scriptures all day long, but if you at night busting heads,
that ain't what I
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
That means nothing. Most people when they come over here and stuff, they bring a Bible with them, and it be like, bro, like I ain't trying to play on.
My boy had a whole meal. They gave him the #1 ratatouille special. Extra mayo, light on the cheese.
Your face or nothing, but you should have been doing that beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
And everybody know you gotta wash it down with a goddamn Sprite. That was a Sprite right in there.
That was the main thing I always say.
What?
I ain't wait till I got locked up to start frame, but it's like a lot of people, in the street, they wait till they get locked up to pray and go to Bible study.
Now they got time to think. They ain't got no drugs in their system. They got ample free time. Most people, you think how much.
So he was really rapping with the detectives. So this came out and people were like, holy shit. These are street dudes. Now, you got to remember. Oh, look.
What about Duke?
Oh, shit. They gave him some sauce to dip in. This thing was going crazy. Yo, this is what putting up 30 in the interrogation room dude look like.
do older than them too. Your ass like to the point.
Oh, it was wings. Is that a blue cheese? One thing about Gotti, man, he do love the cheese. He do love the cheese. Could be blue cheese. Could be American cheese. It don't matter what cheese. Just give him the cheese. He gonna tell you something, bro.
All these old ass niggas with nothing going on. Like,
Bro, at least have the decency to put the chicken bone down while you tell it.
What about Duke?
Duke older than them too. Your ass like to the point. Like, all these old ass niggas.
I ain't gonna lie, man. This shit
What
was
about
crazy.
Duke?
This shit was crazy, Chad.
I don't.
The full video. Where is the full video? It's right here. Oh shit, we published it. Oh my bad. I got sent the shit. I forgot who sent it to me. Yeah, Gotti, listen, man. I didn't want to look. My boy was getting down with that food. You bring me some McDonald's.
Let me ask you about Duke. Situation you got into with Duke. I know, man. You like, man, you put that motherfucker in front of me right now, I'll probably drop kick his ass.
What? He knows bad.
I know Duke.
This nigga talking to the detective like he on a date.
What?
I'm wondering how long you gotta be locked. It clearly was locked up because he's in like the prison outfit when they brought him in. How long you gotta be locked up that just for a plate of some wings that you like, yo, hold on, let me tell you a story about all these niggas.
At the BET Award with Tip.
For real. You with him?
See? And where were you?
This shit. I would have been on tour though. I don't know. But damn, dude, you would tip.
See?
See, but they're like you just said, everybody got an alternate goal.
Alternative go.
Yeah.
Basically,
And like Duke done been from so many clips. So it's like, is that true?
there's no loyalty.
It's like no loyalty. And that was everybody figuring out like damn. Even if I do decide I don't want to be signed to YSL. I'm going like, you feel, I'm like making known like this who helped me. You feel me? I'm not going to just,
Get away from me.
yeah, I ain't like, dude, man, went from Migos to MPA to YSL to what you bankroll mafia now. Like, it's just, and that would make me see, like when you said, everybody do got a alternative to go. But I'm gonna be on this shit. I want to see how like you could even look for another man like as a leech.
Because of the whole.
Okay. This is 2 hours and 42 minutes of pure confessions, chat. Usher couldn't do a better sequel to his album, bruh. Not even close. This right here is how you confess and confess. If you won't tell it, you got to tell it all, man. I don't know. This food must have been busting. Anyway, so that's what Young Thug is talking about. He's reacting to that video. Now, again, this is the first time Young Thug had to basically face these allegations saying, yo, Thug, man, you've been a fraud. Like, you've been saying you don't fuck with snitches, but niggas been snitching way before court started. Yak Gotti was telling. So he's basically admitting in the song, he's saying, yo, I don't fuck with Yak Gotti. And he tricked me for some years because I didn't know he was telling, right? So the lawyer for Yak Gotti said, yo, Yak didn't say a single word, okay, right? Said Yak had the opportunity to turn on Jeff during the trial to get out of the case easy. He never took it. He stood tall, took it all the way to the jury. Then he continued by saying, the state wants nothing more than to turn Gunna, Jeff, and Yak on each other. These are all talented artists who the state wants to drag down. Heaven forbid they rise above their station. Don't let them do it. He then responds, he says, no one should ever talk to the cops. I agree. This after someone says, Doug, you were pushing this narrative that Sergio Kitchens ruined the case. Now you want to say it's the state. He says no one should ever talk to the cops. I agree, but no one listened to me. And someone then says, yo, it's time to let the rappers do their thing, Doug. There's a whole different rationale being used right now, which I agree with. You know what I mean? Like, he was using legal rationale to get these guys back on the streets. They're all back on the streets, right? The lawyer then says, I don't care who comes after DK. Street cops or DA, I'll always be there for him, even if he may not want it, okay? And he says, a lawyer's still lawyering. He says, nobody comes forth clients without me. What? I don't know what that means. I guess he's standing up for his client. Young Thug responded back to that with a simple one-line tweet. I think he deleted it too. He says, "You fucking rat representer. Shut up." He's clearly talking to the lawyer, basically ignoring and not giving a fuck what Douglas Weinstein is talking about. And I don't know, man. You know, I think Young Thug, he don't got to leave it alone. We just don't want to hear about it. Honestly, we don't want to hear about it. I think you don't serve him no favors to keep mentioning this. They told you can't talk about or communicate with some of these individuals. You can't threaten nobody. You can't talk tough. You can't rap about this. You can't wipe your nose. You can't do this. You can't do a lot of things as per the conditions of your probation that you did sign off on. And it wasn't pretty much, even though it was a non-negotiated plea, damn, it was a negotiated plea because that Judge Whitaker, was pretty good to you. You should probably try to stay within the confines of her order that you could stay on the road. Leave it alone or rap about it. But tweeting like you're super upset, I can't understand it. Okay, I think it looks crazy from a fan perspective, a viewer perspective, a listener perspective, because we're like, brother, we just don't get you, bro. And there's no music to kind of like substantiate all of this. So I don't know. We will see though. We will see. What else is going on? Offset. We'll get into that. Oh,